Hey, Booktube Sean here, back to you with another My Week in Books. So now be the third week I've gotten one of these out, and I'm really happy about that. It's better than I did last year, so I'm hoping I can keep this momentum going and stay on this weekly path of getting these books out. Not these books, but these videos. Um, I gotta be honest, I have started this video probably 10 times already because I've been having trouble describing the plot of the first book I read because I'm horrible at describing plot. So let's just go through it and hope I can make it through this time, and what comes out is what comes out because I really don't want to start this video again. The first book I read this week, or finished this week, is one I've been talking about for the past couple of weeks. It's The Iron Crown by L.L. McRae. This was sent to me by the author. It comes out today as this goes up, Friday the 28th. And I really enjoyed this book. In this book, we have a man named Fenn who has woken up in a bog with no memory of who he is. All he knows is his name is Fenn. He gets helped out of the bog by our second POV character, Kalidra, and her partner, Giselle. They go back to Giselle's grandma's inn. They let him rest up, try to figure out what's going on with him. In the meantime, Kalidra gets word that her father, the laird on another part of the kingdom, or queendom, I should say, has passed away, and she needs to go back for the funeral. So they take Fenn with them back to the mainland. In this time, when they get back to the mainland, they learn that there's other lost souls, other people who have woken up without memories. And then you learn that 5 years prior, the queen, with the help of a very powerful dragon spirit, this land has dragon spirits that are kind of formed out of the creation of the energy and the life force of an area of the land brings birth to dragon spirits for that dragon spirits of the land, who can bestow blessings upon you or curses upon you. Giselle actually is cursed by her land's dragon spirit, and she can't feel anything. So anyway, 5 years prior, the queen helped, with the help of a very powerful dragon spirit, vanquished an evil magical spirit race called the Mirror. They're dark creatures born out of dark magic. So for 5 years there's been peace, but now there's rumblings of the Mirror possibly resurfacing, and it's these lost souls are possibly connected to that. And from there, the adventure just starts to span out. We have your quest trope, we have your found family trope, just all things that I really love in fantasy. You have dragon spirits. You have there's two other POV characters. One that it's the third POV perspective switches from one character to another from part 1 to part 2. The one in part 2 actually is from a prequel novella called The Citron Key that I just learned about last night and bought. But honestly, the prequel novella covers some backstory that slowly starts to get revealed during this book. And honestly, now I said I wanted to read it this weekend, but now that I've finished the book, I don't know that I do. I kind of want this piece of backstory to be slowly revealed to me as it needs to be throughout the next book when it comes out next year. So I don't know if I want to read the prequel novella now until more of the series comes out, because I don't know if I want to know that story in its full yet. But yeah, L.L. McRae does a great job with the characters, with the plot, with the world. The world building is just fantastic. And she does a great job too with the history and not giving you all the history in an info dumpy fashion. You learn what you need to learn when you need to learn it, and in a manner that is not info dumpy. That's how you properly give the backstory of the world and what you need to know, instead of just dumping it all in the beginning of the book, slowly revealing it. That's what keeps me reading. The only problem I had with the book, and is why I knocked it from a 5 down, gave it 4 stars instead of 5, because like I said, you guys know, I've said this before, I don't put a lot of stock into star ratings because reading is so personal and tastes are so personal that my 5-star could be your 3-star, could be your 2-star, your 1-star could be my 5-star. It just all depends on personal taste. So I don't like to do star ratings, but I know they help the authors out. In that case, the reason I gave it 4 stars instead of 5 was because in the first half there was a little bit of pacing issues, especially with Khalidra's character. There was a bit of repetition about her relationship with her mother that kind of, I felt, kind of bogged her character development down a little bit. Her character is great and her character is developed well, but there was a repetitiveness about her relationship with her mother that I think affected the pacing and could have been whittled down a little bit. And once you read it, you'll know what I mean. So it made the first 40% of the book kind of slow going for me, but once I hit that about 40 to 50% mark, I couldn't put it down. Not that I wasn't enjoying it in that first part. It's just it wasn't a must pick up because I read multiple things, so it wasn't like I got to get back to this one until I hit that about 40% mark. So that's what made it a 4-star for me instead of a 5-star. But still a fantastic book. I highly recommend picking up. This is a SPFBO nominee, and honestly, I mean this with every fiber of my being. I will be honestly surprised if this is not at least a semifinalist. It'll shock me if this is not a semifinalist for SPFBO. At least a semifinalist. Because each judge picks a finalist and then 2 kind of semifinalists. The finalist is the one that moves on for the judging by the 10. I would love to see it be a finalist, but I think at minimum it's going to be a semifinalist. Just my very early thought and prediction, having only read one of the 300 books. But yeah, it's that good. I've read L.L. McRae, formerly known as L.L. McNeil's first book, Maroda, which is part of her World of Lunaria Chronicles. I actually have the second book of that right here, which again was kindly sent to me by her when it came out several years ago, and I only made it that far before I started falling into reading slumps and stuff. But that has not anything to do with the quality of the book. That was me. So I can see how much she has progressed between Maroda and this book. So there are 2 other books that are out in this series. I think there's 2 other books and a novella that are out in this series, and then she's got another urban fantasy series. I think it's a 4 or 5 book series that's fully released. So we're talking a good 8 books, a couple novellas between her first book, Maroda, and this Iron Crown. And she has come... Maroda I loved. I absolutely loved Maroda. But it's nice to see how much she has progressed and how tighter an author she has become. It's just fantastic. Go stop this video, pick up The Iron Crown by L.L. McRae. You will not regret it, I promise you. Anyway, so yeah, that is the first book I finished. The second book I finished is a manga that I got off of NetGalley, kind of trying to build my score back up on NetGalley. I had been approved for some stuff right before I fell into my 1.5 year long reading slump, so it never got, feedback never got sent on it. So my feedback score is not the greatest right now. It's hovering around the 50% range, and I want to get it built back up. And it was suggested to me a good way to possibly do that. Excuse me. Lezlie at the Nerdy Narrative suggested to me that I might try some manga because they're quick reads, and I can give the feedback and start building that score back up. And she's right, and I like manga. I want to get back to manga. I don't think you guys have ever heard me talk about manga because I used to read it before I ever started the channel. I don't think I've read it for at least a couple years before I started doing this. I was reading Death Note. I was reading Attack on Titan. I was reading Fairy Tail. So yeah, I was reading manga for a little while before I started the channel, and then I never went back to it. I read graphic novels here and there, but I've never gone back to manga. So I decided, yes, you're absolutely right. I need to get back to manga. I enjoy manga. So I got approved for a manga called The Medalist, Volume 1. And it's tough because I got to find Volume 1s of stuff because I'm not jumping in at Volume 15, and this is about a young girl. I don't have it in front of me. I believe is her name in Inoro, who wants to be a figure skater. And so she goes to this rink where a guy who had a bit of fame as in figure skating in ice dancing, but never got to the level he wanted with it. So he starts working at an ice rink and kind of becomes this girl's coach. The girl's mother didn't want her to do it, and they kind of talked her into letting her do it. And so but the mother says she can do it till she gets into middle school because the girl is 11 years old, and just like the guy, she's getting into it later than would be expected to achieve success in figure skating. The guy who becomes her coach, he started late, and nobody thought he would make anything of it because she should have started when he was 5 years old. So it's about her desire and her wanting to be accepted in this world, and she's got this raw talent for it. It's fine. The story was decent. I don't know that I'll continue on with it when subsequent volumes come out. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The artwork was pretty decent. They captured the fluid motion of figure skating very well in the artwork. But overall, the story was just fine. Nothing that I'm clamoring for Volume 2 of. But that's The Medalist Volume 1. Hopefully I will have gotten a picture up here. And that's it. That's what I read. That's what I finished this week. So let's get into book haul portion of it. And I've gotten some books in this week. Most of them today. So first I got my pre-order of The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman. Excuse me. So I'll read you the description of that because I don't know what it's about. I pre-ordered this in February based off the description, but I don't remember what the description was. It's been getting a lot of great buzz, though. Kinshna Shanak owes the Takers Guild a small fortune for his education as a thief, which includes, but is not limited to, lock-picking, knife-fighting, wall-scaling, fall-breaking, lie-weaving, and trap-making, plus a few other small magics. His debt has driven him to lie in wait by the Old Forest Road, planning to rob the next traveler who crosses his path. But today, Kinshna Shanak has picked the wrong mark. Galva is a knight, a survivor of the brutal goblin wars and handmaiden of the goddess of death. She is searching for her queen, missing since a distant northern city fell to giants. Unsuccessful in his robbery and lucky to escape with his life, Kinch now finds his fate entangled with Galva's. Common enemies and uncommon dangers force a thief and a knight on an epic journey where goblins hunger for human flesh, krakens hunt in dark waters, and honor is a luxury few can afford. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I didn't have plans to start it in June, but I might start it in June. I don't know. I'm participating in the Olympics readathon that's being run by the Shelf Space Discord server. And it's if you might have seen some TBRs floating around for it. There's 16 prompts, each based off of a Greek god or goddess, and all the admins on the server are team captains. So you get split up into teams. I'm on Team Dionysus, which luckily I got was the one I had chosen. And so I was able to get, a lot of people didn't end up getting placed on the team that was their preferred god or goddess. Dionysus, they list it as the god of wine, but Dionysus for me is the god of theater. And as anybody who's been with my channel for a while knows, I am been involved in theater most of my life. Well, most of my adult life. I started when I was 15 years old. So I could say most of my life. I'm 43. So, yeah, 28 years I've been involved in theater. That's more than half my life. So I that was obviously the one I was going to choose, the god of theater. So you have everything takes place on the Discord server. You get points for the books you read in the prompts, but you also get points for books you read that are outside of the prompts. So it's not like you have to stick to the prompts to really participate. As long as you're reading, you're participating. And I'm going to plan on reading all month, so I might as well get points and participate in the readathon for what I do, for what I read, and just have fun and get to know some people, and just get back involved with the community. Since I changed the channel name, I think some of my primary focus has been getting back involved with the book community. I know I've got the film and the floss parts of the channel name, and I will definitely get to those. I'm going to film, hopefully have a new floss tube coming out on hopefully June 1st. Hopefully June 1st, because I'm going to film a TBR video for something another thing I'm participating in over the summer. After I film this video, which is going to hopefully go up on, Sunday or Monday. I don't know, whichever day I get it. Remember to get it uploaded and put out. But I'd like to start on June 1st with a new FlossTube video. I haven't been watching any movies, so I haven't had film content to make. But I'm really wanting to get back involved in the book community and start meeting people again and engaging in the community again. So that's kind of been a bit of my focus. That's why I'm joining these Discord servers, so that I can meet people. That's why I decided to participate in the readathon, even though I'm notoriously bad at readathons. Mostly to have conversations and meet people. So anyway, I might get to this in June, but I definitely want to read this summer. I also joined the Wizardly Duo Discord server that's run by Andrew's Wizardly Reads. I'll link his channel below, and if I remember, I'll link the Discord server below too. It's been getting an influx of new people, because they're running a Secret Santa kind of thing, an off-season Secret Santa kind of thing. So they've been promoting it a little bit, and a lot of people are joining the server. I think to participate in the Secret Santa kind of thing. But anyway, in there I learned about a series called the Nightmare Land series by Daniel Barnett. And then I also learned that the cover art is done by one of my favorite cover artists, Daniel Serra, who just does this, ends up in a lot of horror covers. You'll see, I can't even describe them. They're just beautifully dark, and just I love his art. And once I found out that he was the cover artist, I had to buy the physical volumes. I had to. So I bought the first 3 books in the Nightmare Land series. So we have Nightfall, Volume 1. Just look at that cover. We have Volume 2, Lullaby, and Volume 3, Sleepwalking. So I will read the back of Volume 1. Tomorrow died on the last morning of May. There were those who saw it happen, who watched the shadow fall, who felt the chop of the guillotine as the world lost its head. Everyone else witnessed only the aftermath, for the event itself. Only the aftermath for the event itself lasted no longer than a moment. They stepped outside from windowless rooms. They climbed up from crowded subways. They pulled back the blinds to let in the sun and found the nightmare waiting for them. But the dark is only the beginning. Andrew and Lezlie at Nerdy Narrative really been talking up this series, and I just, once I saw the covers, I had to buy the physical copy. So this is the first. There are 5 volumes currently out. I bought the first 3. You can see they're thin, so they should be pretty quick reads too. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I also bought The Emperor's Blade. The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley. I've been hearing some really great things about this trilogy. It is the Chronicle of the Unhewn Throne. I can talk, really, I can. So I will read the back of this, because again, I've just heard great things about it, so I don't really know what it's about. The Emperor of Anur is dead, slain by enemies unknown. His daughter and 2 sons, scattered across the world, must somehow stay alive and unmask the assassins, but each of them also has a life path on which their father set them. Destinies entangled with both ancient enemies and inscrutable gods. Caden, the heir to the unhewn throne, has spent 8 years sequestered in a remote mountain monastery, learning the enigmatic discipline of monks devoted to the blank god. The rituals hold the key to an ancient power he must master before it's too late. An ocean away, Valen endures the brutal training of the Ketrel, elite soldiers who fly into battle on gigantic black hawks. But before he can set out to save Caden, Valen must survive one horrific final test. At the heart of the Empire, Master Adair, elevated to her station by one of the Emperor's final acts, is determined to prove herself to her people. But Adair also believes she knows who murdered her father, and she will stop at nothing and risk everything to see that justice is meted out. I actually kind of really want to get to this one soon, too. I want to get to everything soon. It's a problem. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And then, if I enjoy that, I'll get the other 2 in the trade paperback form. So that's what I've picked up. That's the haul portion. Currently reading. I'm kind of in that just finished a book phase. But I'm a few chapters into the Shadow of the God. I keep wanting to call this Shadow of the Dead Gods. I don't know where the word dead is coming from. But the Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, the first part of his Bloodsworn trilogy, which is his new it's his new fantasy series, Nordic based, I want to say. But yeah, I'm on chapter 5, so I'm on the first chapter of our third of 3 POV characters. So I'm not. I'm still in just setup on this. It's page 40. I'm enjoying it so far. But I am looking forward to getting deeper into it. It was a struggle for me, because this is the one that was fighting for my attention away from the Iron Crown, because I really wanted to get into this too. But I wanted to finish the Iron Crown before I filmed this video. I had set myself a deadline for finishing the Iron Crown. Otherwise, normally I would have just taken however much time I needed to with the Iron Crown and read both equally. But I set myself a deadline. I wanted to get that talked about on the day of release, because I failed LL on this one, so I wanted to make up for that. So yeah, so I'm still I'm reading that, and other than that, I'd started The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hanrahan. But I'm not really right now. I'm kind of doing chapter tryouts and stuff just to see what sticks. So Lost War. I'm still reading The Lost War by Justin Lee Anderson. I'm a quarter of the way through that. I kind of pushed that aside to focus on the Iron Crown. So I'll probably get back to that. And then in June 1st happens before the next My Week in Books comes out. So I will most likely I'm going to be starting a classic film book. More on that in the video that's going to come out Sunday or Monday. That's the TBR I'm filming after I finish this. So look for that video, and you'll know about that. But yeah, and then in the Wizardly Duo Discord server, I think I'm getting involved in a read-along of the Dragonlance Chronicles. So book one of that, Dragons of Autumn Twilight, which I read years ago, but never continued on with the series. So that will actually be a reread for me, but I don't remember a ton about it. So I'm probably going to be doing that. They're also reading Jurassic Park, which I do have, so I'm kind of debating on whether I'm going to join in on that. I might get involved in a buddy read, group read on the Shelf Space server for Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. I kind of there's like a buddy read submissions channel, and so people submit buddy reads, and then you kind of RSVP with a whatever emoji they say for the RSVP. So I click the emoji. I don't know if it's actually going to happen for me or not, but yeah. So right now I'm just kind of seeing where my mood takes me. I'm definitely in a fantasy mood, so there's going to be a lot of fantasy, but yeah, I'm just not sure what's next. So we'll find out next week when I talk to you. So thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. I honestly and truly do. I couldn't do this if nobody was subscribing and watching. If it was just me talking to a camera and talking to my phone and nobody watched, nobody subscribed, then it wouldn't be fun. So I absolutely appreciate every single one of you. And especially those who have stuck with me through 2 channel name changes. I honestly appreciate it. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stick around. If you want to stick around, that'd be awesome. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, bell icon. You know the drill. I'll talk to you all in the next one.